Welcome to Venator Chronicles Podcast. I'm Ethan Taylor.
And I'm Dustin Jelly.
Our hope is to inspire new and old hunters alike.
We hope you can join us on this journey of lessons that we have, are, and will learn through the world of hunting. Should we talk turkeys?
Dude, let's talk gobbles. Yeah, turkeys.
Turkeys.
This is my mantra for you right now. Long years for long beards.
Wah, wah, wah.
Long beard for now, at least.
Yeah, long beard, yeah. Actually, it wasn't. So, yeah, turkeys.
Dude,
we'll get to the beard.
Yeah, dude.
So, we got to go turkey hunting this last week.
Hold on.
Oh,
Hey, here's what I'm thinking.
Oh.
We haven't talked about the past here a little bit. It doesn't have to be long.
Okay.
But start us, rewind 4 years.
Rewind 4 years.
Real quick, just give us a quick synopsis of
we'll
how we
actually
arrived to this year.
We'll actually have to go back 5 years. I missed a year of turkey hunting a couple years ago.
Okay.
So
Missed.
actually, let's see. One,
Seems
two.
to line up.
This would be so. I've only gone turkey hunting 3 times. So last 4 years, I missed 2 years ago. So 1, 2.
And then you missed
3,
last
4.
year.
No, this would be
Then you missed
this would
last
be
year,
year
but in
5.
a different sense.
This would be total. Yeah, so I've gone 4 times, missed a year. So
And then also missed last year.
I've missed every single. I have missed every single year of turkey hunt. I have gotten a shot off at a turkey every single year.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, thanks to my buddy Steve.
Yeah.
The from Hobby Game Calls. You know, it's pretty legit. You know, when you make calls and you actually can call turkeys in. And
Yeah.
Steve has been a great friend. Steve has let me come down, hunt with him every year. He has woken up early, gone out with me, called in turkeys faithfully, consistently, and
you faithfully missed.
Yeah. Well, I didn't miss last year.
No.
I had my opportunity robbed from me to miss.
Oh yeah, you were so mad.
No, I lie. I did
Oh.
miss. I had an opportunity the
Yeah,
next day. I did miss
but
3 times.
You were.
I was.
upset.
Yeah, I was upset. So
I think we actually covered that.
we did cover. Yeah.
Last year,
so
because we were recording.
so quick recap. Year 1 of turkey hunting, we had 2 toms come flying into the woods. They were at like 25 yards, and I had like a 12-inch windows. They were kind of walking through the woods.
Yep.
And I ended up pulling. I was using a hinge. I just switched to a hinge. I was
it's
shooting a compound.
Yep.
And I jerked it.
Okay.
I'm good at just being a jerk. And I just pulled the shot right. I mean, Steve said he saw the arrow go right over its tail.
Oh.
Like had it been,
How close is it? I mean, how far was it?
25 yards.
Okay.
So moving through the woods, 12-inch
Yeah.
windows. So, so that was a bummer. But hey, cool, whatever. Didn't get another shot. The next year, no, I didn't go the following year. I went last year. So this is only my 3rd year.
Oh.
Okay.
Everyone
I
The
thought I was
truth
on year 4. So
comes out.
So, because
That's okay. My years have an asterisk next to them as far as I'm concerned. as well.
yeah.
But anyway, continue.
Anyhow, so I missed that year, and then last year I went. Decided to switch 3 weeks before the season from compound to recurve. Proceeded to miss 3.
You said 2 weeks before the season?
3 weeks.
3 weeks, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
2
that's
3
plenty
weeks.
of time.
Yeah,
to
plenty
be-
of time. Totally
to
mastered
hone
it.
in your,
Nothing like
You got your 10,000 hours in, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
10,000 seconds. And so missed on one bird 3 different times. This year, going into the season, went down. Actually, Steve and I, instead of hunting in his place, met up with his buddy Charles, who I hadn't met yet.
Okay.
I've talked with, and
Long beard, Charles?
long beard Charles. Charles has,
Good-looking beard.
he's got
Solid
a very
beard.
manly beard.
Yeah,
him and
that's good.
him and his brother both. I was very beard envy.
Oh,
Yeah,
good.
they're just solid beards.
Yeah, they look like it.
Like your level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
beautiful. Beautiful.
and Charles, I won't say where he lives for sake of keeping all of our listeners away.
Yeah.
But Charles has access to like 20-some different properties around his area. So we get down there. Went down Sunday night, met up with Charles, and we hop in his truck to go do some scouting, see if we can hit anything that night.
Yeah.
And we're just driving past property after property after property. He's like, yeah, we can hunt here, we can hunt there, we can hunt there. We have access here. And I was just like, geez Louise. And then we were seeing tons of turkeys.
Really?
Oh, yeah. And
Just
tons
driving
of,
around or
and
what?
Tons of deer, too.
Really?
Tons of deer, yes.
No, does he have deer? Can he hunt deer in all these properties?
No.
Okay.
No, that's not quite as open.
Okay.
But yeah, so I mean, it was crazy the amount of deer I saw. So we ended up finding one flock that had, by the time, we were rolling towards the end, it was getting dark out, so birds were already roosted.
What day are we on right now?
We're Sunday night.
Okay.
So I went down Sunday night.
Okay.
Sunday night through Tuesday. That
Okay.
was the plan.
Okay.
So Sunday night, we find this flock roosted. Figure out a game plan. We'll figure we're going to come back the next morning
Okay.
and try to get them.
Yep.
As they flew down. So went to bed Sunday night. Actually had dinner and went to bed. Woke up, uber early, which I will say, after years of working afternoons, so like late afternoon to late night shifts, and trying to wake up early, that sucked. To now the last 6 months having to work days,
Yeah.
getting up early doesn't suck as bad.
No?
So, no.
Good.
Yeah, it was nice. It was a nice change. I'm so used to being like, it's so freaking early. Do I have to get up?
You're
So now I'm like, it's so early.
I won't say a slow riser, but maybe you'll consider yourself that. I'm not sure. Takes you a little bit to get going.
Way better now.
Yeah?
Than when
Good,
we went,
good.
because I had just switched to working days.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah.
Went for our weekend hunt?
Yeah, where I was just like,
Yeah.
"Ugh." So whereas
Yeah.
now I'm like, okay, I'm ready.
Nice,
Definitely,
that's
I've
awesome.
definitely noticed a big difference physically.
Good.
Yeah.
Nice.
So we get set up. I'll relight the cigar here.
You can do it. Take it all in, folks. This right here, play by play. Good. Good. Very good.
The cigar doesn't like to stay lit.
And don't you remember that's like our gauge if we're talking too much? If our cigars go out?
No, that's you. My
Hey,
cigars don't.
Hey, I
go
haven't
up.
had one go out since.
Yeah, you've gotten better.
For quite a while.
You've gotten better. So
Yeah.
there we go.
Nice. Nicely done.
So yeah, so we get set up Monday morning. Flock, we're waiting. We didn't get light. And towards time it gets a little lighter, Charles starts calling. Nothing. We don't get any response.
So you went with Charles or Steve?
Charles and Steve, yeah, all three of us. Charles was kind of more of our guide.
Mm-hmm.
I would say it's probably my first guided hunt. I mean, that's what it felt like. He did all the driving.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was kind of cool.
Kind of nice, just sitting in the back
it was
seat,
nice.
huh?
I will take a semi-free guided hunt anytime.
Dope. That's sweet.
All it costed me was a bottle of whiskey.
No, that's it.
Charles likes whiskey, so
All right.
I brought
Sweet.
some, and that was good bonding moments. But anyhow, sitting there, we're waiting. Charles was calling. We're getting nothing. No callbacks. What in the world? And all of a sudden, at one point, they decided to fly down from the roost and fly straight past us.
Really?
Yeah.
And you didn't just let an arrow fly?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Weird.
No.
Weird.
Yeah. Weird.
Okay. Thought you were into that kind of shooting.
Not yet. Not yet. Got to work into that.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I mean, I don't want to show off or anything.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
That's totally why I do it. I don't want to show off. So yeah, that's a bummer. That's a wasted sit. So we ended up driving around to a few different places. Driving past this one field, we saw this one flock. It had 2 or 3 toms strutting out, and so Charles dropped us off at the one edge of this property, and Steve and I were going to try to head off
Yeah.
this flock while Charles, he had to go do some work because he's got his own landscaping business.
Nice.
He's a working man, so he had to go do some stuff, so he dropped us off. And so, yeah, we start making our way, and we ran into a couple hens separate from the flock.
Okay.
They didn't see us.
Mm-hmm.
So we tried calling. But frankly, Monday morning, Monday afternoon, there was no birds were really calling.
Yeah.
Like even Charles had a couple other friends that were out hunting.
Yeah.
Both of them said the same thing. Like nothing. There was just birds.
Was
were
it, you think
just
it's weather or just not?
I think it was the weather.
Okay.
Yeah, it was. I think it just whatever reson the
Yeah.
birds were just not responding.
Just not having
a little cooler, a little damper.
Okay.
So they just weren't having it. So we ended up losing that flock. I'm not quite sure where they went.
Yeah.
So Steve and I walked around for a little bit, did some stump shooting. Steve
Mm-hmm.
had his longbow with. And
Yeah.
So we were having fun doing that, figuring some things out for Steve and dialing his stuff in. And it was really neat. At one point, all of a sudden, we heard this, and it looked like a turkey at first just flew up into a tree like 15 yards from us. We're both like, wow. All of a sudden, we realized it wasn't a turkey. It was a great horned owl.
Seriously?
And holy cow, did not realize how freaking big those things are.
It was massive.
It was massive.
That's
And, like its
awesome.
head was
That's awesome.
was just huge, and it
Yeah.
did the whole owl thing where it like turns back around, just looks at you.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh! And I'm trying to get my phone to get a picture because
Yeah.
to be that close to
How close were you?
like 15 yards,
Dude, that's
15,
sweet.
18 yards.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it was just like I said, I did not realize how big those birds
Mm-hmm.
were. They were huge.
And were you guys did you guys have decoys or just strictly
We had
running
decoys.
gun?
Yeah, it was
so
run and
you
gun
were
with
running
decoys.
gun, Okay.
Yeah, because
okay.
I hate sitting in the blind.
What'd you guys use?
For decoys?
Yeah. Was it like
Turkey
a Jake
decoys.
And a hen? Well, okay, so you guys foregoed on the ducks this time?
Yeah, I held off on the ducks.
Prior years, just, it wasn't as fruitful
I
as
might
you
try
hoped.
geese next year.
Okay, just-
Maybe some ravens.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
hear
Well,
turkeys
that's good.
love ravens.
That's really good. I'm actually going to be trying the flamingos this year, so we're going to see how that turns out.
Well,
It's
that's
like
Superior. There's plenty of in the front yards around here.
Yeah. We'll just do like a real modest 60 to 40. We'll just do like a small flock like that.
Just a small flock of
yeah.
pink flamingos.
Yeah, we're just gonna see how it works.
Yeah. So yeah, we had a mixture of jakes and hens.
Nice. Okay. Nice.
One of each, and so we had that happened. I was trying to get my phone to get a picture, but the stupid crows chased it off. I was
Really?
so mad. Yeah, but it was cool. It was
Yeah,
definitely a neat
yeah.
experience too.
Well, no film didn't happen.
Yeah,
so
I know. Yeah, didn't happen. Totally made up. So
That's fun.
yeah,
No, that's cool, dude. That's awesome.
just yeah. So that was really cool. That was definitely a highlight of that morning because nothing else happened. So we ended up getting picked up a little bit later by Charles, and went back and just chilled out back at Charles' house for a couple hours, just working on the bows and getting some stuff. Worked on Steve's bow for him, and
Was that the afternoon or what?
yeah, late morning, early afternoon, and then we geared back up and went out Monday night. I'm trying to remember what exactly happened. I think we tried a couple different. Oh, we actually ended up. That's what happened. We ended up picking up Charles's nephew,
Okay.
who was 15, I think.
Did he steal your bird?
Well, we'll get to that.
No.
So we went to this one field, and there was a couple different fields. This one property that had parked on this road, and then you continue south on the road. It would lead to one field, and another trail went off to the east. And so we split up. Charles had his shotgun, so him and I went together, so it was shotgun bow, and then Steve went with his nephew who had a shotgun, so it was shotgun bow.
Okay. Nice.
So Charles and I were out walking, and not even like 10 minutes later, we're in this field, and all of a sudden we hear, boom!
No.
They're like, well, he's like, oh, that's Aiden. And so I didn't have my bird stolen, but it was a little funny, like, oh, I could have gone that way and possibly gotten a turkey.
Yeah.
And so
Now, hold on. Now, obviously, if you follow our page or anything, we see this all has a happy ending. But how are you feeling in that moment? Were you
in that moment, I was actually totally fine.
Okay, well, that's good.
Yeah, he's a good kid. Wasn't some trigger happy 15-year-old who stole my bird directly. I'm not bitter about that. I'm really not.
Okay.
Um,
I don't think you would be in hindsight, but I was thinking in the
yeah,
moment.
in the
who
moment. No,
knows?
actually, I found it. I found it a little ironic, and it made me laugh.
Yeah,
like, I was
black
like, that's kind of ironic. And that's,
You're like,
but hey,
turkey hunting, it's the worst.
yeah, but he got one. So yeah, we ended up meeting up back up with them, and it was kind of cool little story because they were walking and they're like on trail just about to break into the field when all of a sudden like they noticed like not even 20 yards was a flock
Really?
around the bend, so they're able to like pull back real quick without being seen, set up, throw a decoy out, and Steve called in one.
Oh, that's
And
awesome.
they got it on the camera too.
Oh,
And
sweet.
it was super funny because
Yeah.
Steve was filming it, and it was Aiden was to his left, and the birds were coming in left to right, and you see in the video a hen come,
Yeah.
and Steve makes some comment about they're coming. All of a sudden, boom!
Just-
And you see the hen,
Mhm.
and Steve later was telling us he saw the hen, he saw another hen or a Jake both fly off, and he thought Aiden had missed. And he's like, oh, hey, hold on, they might come back. And I was like, oh, you got one! Like, it was just a
Yeah,
great
like you
video
didn't
clip.
realize- yeah. That's awesome.
So it was super fun. So, yeah, he ended up getting, well, it was funny. We were, Charles was teasing him because he got a Jake, and it had a beard,
Uh-huh.
like the best way I could describe the length of this beard is like that 12-year-old boy
With a mustache.
with the mustache.
Yeah,
like it's
like
barely
5 or
there.
6 pieces sticking out either
Yes.
side.
Like this beard was like an inch.
He's like, I saw the beard because
Yeah.
it just protruded straight out.
It pretty much. It
That's
was.
awesome.
It was great. But hey, he was happy he got one.
Mhm.
So
That might be me. Who knows?
yeah, hey, as long as he can get one, right?
That's the hope.
Yeah. So so he got one. So that was cool. We ended up then dropping him back off at his place.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, I had to light the cigar again.
I know.
I feel like Ethan here.
Yeah.
And so we went out, and it was a little later in the night. Hitting a bunch of properties. Didn't really see anything until we drove by this one field, and it was like 150 yards down this field. There's a tree line near this cow pasture area that Charles has access to, and we saw. We actually had seen a flock roosted there the night before, and we're debating, like, hey, let's go check that out, see if we can see them roost again in that area, and if they are, let's make a game plan for Tuesday morning.
Okay.
So we I might have to light a new one.
Yeah. Because it is mesmerizing listening to you sucking on that.
I bet it is.
That's just the best.
We'll edit that out. So
No, we won't.
So anyhow, we start making our way down this field. Has a tree line that runs in between it, and we are on the left side, and where the birds had roosted the night before was on the right side, down at the end. And we're starting to walk down. All of a sudden, I don't remember if Steve or Charles. They were just like, "Whoa, drop down!" Here, the flock was on this left side, not even 100 yards from us. And so we get behind a bunch of hay bales,
Yeah.
and we're just slowly keeping an eye on. They're actually walking away from us. And there's 3 big old toms, just full strut and whatnot. And so they're walking away, and so we wait for them to walk down, and then they start cutting in that tree line in the middle to go to the other side. So we wait till they cut in. We'll quickly make our way down closer to them. And we saw them, and then they quickly made their way across the right side of the field into the woods. And so we were able to work our way down to the end of the field.
Yep.
And at the end of the field is there's this fence line where the cows go back and forth.
Okay.
And there's a bunch of cows out there that
Yeah.
were making their way through. And so the turkeys actually ended up going further, like southwest, cutting back around, then eventually, and it was getting close to being dark, and they eventually made their way back up to us to where We ended up staying to where they roosted.
Really?
Like 50, 60 yards away from us.
Really?
And at first,
nice.
like when we first started seeing them come back,
Yeah.
we're like, well, let's kind of back up, get to a point where we can exit easily.
Yep.
Well, as we're doing that, we saw one hen was way closer than we anticipated, and all of a sudden she roosted.
Really?
We're like, well, shoot, we're stuck here
Yeah.
till it gets dark now.
Yeah.
And so we actually ended up watching the whole flock roost.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
you knew right where they were.
Right where they were.
Dude, that's awesome.
So we eventually backed out of there and made the game plan of, hey, well, we had two options. Either one option was we can set up in this one area and hope to cut them off once they come down from the roost the next morning.
Yeah.
Or I could go John Wick, sneak my way into the roosting area and blow one out of the tree.
Okay.
And I was totally digging option number 2.
Really?
I wanted to sneak in there and blow one out of the tree. Like, I mean, it was, probably, I was like, that would be sweet. You know, that'd be very Boondock Saints like.
Now, is that counter, because I only follow, what is it see on YouTube as far as, hunting public and other related places like that. Now, is that counter turkey culture as far as hunting turkeys? I've never seen anybody shooting out of the roost.
I don't really follow hunting culture. I don't.
Well,
I've never watched.
I'm more out of curiosity.
I've watched maybe one hunting public video on turkey hunting. Otherwise, I actually don't really care for watching turkey hunting videos.
Yeah, I don't keep up with them, but I watch them once in a while.
I don't know. I get bored with them.
Again, more for strategy than anything else because I'm so inexperienced.
Yep.
So.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Because there's no law on how you where
like as long as it's legal shooting light. Mm-hmm. But I thought I could care less if it's kosher or not in the hunting community.
Hold on now. Let's not gloss over the verbiage we were using there for a second. Blow it out of the tree. How are you going to do that with a trad bow? Interesting.
Well, at that point, I decided I have a small window. Okay.
What was the time frame? You were leaving on Tuesday, and it was Tuesday morning. You'd be going out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
So here's where I was at.
Yeah. Lay this part out for us.
Yes.
Clearly.
Given I had one more day.
Okay.
And with the needing to get a house ready to sell and possibly moving in the next 2 to 3 weeks, my time to go turkey hunting was pretty much shot.
Looking slim.
Yeah, looking shot. I had one more day.
Yeah.
So at this point, I was like, I would like to come back with the turkey.
Yeah.
I need to get one under my belt.
Yeah.
My wife would like for me to get one on my belt.
Uh-huh.
My children, not to view their father as a loser hunter.
Total failure.
I need to get one.
Total failure. I mean, if we're just going to put it plainly.
Total failure. Yeah.
Total failure.
Just a
turkey
failure.
hunter.
Just a turd. So I was like, you know what? Charles was like, yeah, we got the shuck in here. I was like, if you want to use it, it's all yours.
So Charles turned you, huh? It wasn't Steve? It was
no, it
Charles
wasn't Steve. It was Charles.
Charles was like,
But
he's trying to keep that guiding percentage up.
He was.
That's all that is.
That's probably
all that is.
Numbers.
Pen stats.
Apparently, so the shotgun he has, it's nicknamed the Turkey Slayer because he does a lot of actually youth guided.
Supernova.
Actually, it is a supernova.
Yeah, go
Benelli
figure.
supernova.
Yeah,
but
figures.
Apparently, it's one he's had for years. He's used it to guide on all these youth turkey hunts he does.
Yeah.
What was interesting, it's a 20 gauge.
Really?
Yeah, it's not a big old 12 gauge. It's a little 20 gauge. And so I was talking with him. I was like, "What? How far do you like to go with this?"
75 yards.
Yeah. Well, he's like I'm very comfortable out to 50 with this. He's like,
really? Nice.
It easily takes. Then I was like, no way. I
50?
would not. Yeah. I was like, the whole 20 game, like 35 yards,
You're like,
maybe.
That's only like 5 yards longer than my trad.
Pretty much.
But
it was like when he was like 50. I'm like, dang. And he had a holographic sight on it. And so it was just a sweet little rig, being a 20 gauge, super small, super light.
Yeah.
And
so, I mean, basically a trad bow at that rate, light, it's just easy to stock.
Yeah,
with.
Yeah, it's the trad equivalent of shotguns.
There's so many parallels.
Yeah,
I mean,
12 gauges would be
you
like
probably
a compound.
You could hardly tell that.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, dude, totally. can definitely see how you justify this.
Yeah. No, I justified it because I wanted to shoot a dang bird. That's how I justified it.
I was it was interesting interesting to see to hear the switch. I thought that it would have been a lot more
The turn.
I thought it would have
The
been a lot
turn.
more teeth pulling or something involved. But
Hey,
I will say
desperate men will do desperate things
Yes,
in desperate times.
Evidently. But after talking about it, and like I've never been, it wasn't like I was like, oh, you have to do it with this. I was just like, because you know me, like I'm like, well, I flip flop from,
Yeah,
hey, what am I going to do this year? And
yeah,
like this
you
year,
swing both ways.
yeah, absolutely. I have no bias as far as weaponry. I have preferences that I'd like to be able to get it done with, but if I can't, or when things come into balance like that, which probably will be happening with my season, I have things kind of pre-set up in my mind about what's going to happen, and so anyway, I just didn't know that was a possibility for you. I didn't know that was on the.
I didn't know it was a possibility for me either. I did not even go into that hunt thinking, if I don't, get one by this time, I'll just go with the shotgun. Right. It was just
no, but I get the logic.
Yep.
It was just a unexpected plot twist for me when you said it, and I was like, oh, okay, well,
yes.
Let's just not do this flippantly now, because that is a pretty big swing.
It is a pretty big swing, and it's
you
not one.
You skip the whole compound and went straight to the shotgun.
Yeah, it's not one of those. Well, we didn't have a compound width, so it wasn't taken lightly.
Okay,
if that helps.
Yeah, no, I assumed not, but
yeah, just because
I didn't want to gloss over it. Oh, we're gonna blast it away.
Yeah, blast it away with what? Yeah. A volley of arrows? Yeah. You going full Robin Hood over
Loose.
there? Just 5 arrows at a time?
Yep.
Yeah, it was one of those things where I'd really wish that I wanted my first turkey with a bow, especially tried bow at this point.
Yeah.
However,
yeah, I have no quarrel with it. I was just curious on the mentality surrounding it.
Yeah, so anyhow, especially too with the goal that morning of sneaking in to the bedding area, or the roosting area, I should say.
If there's not belly crawling involved with this, I just have zero respect.
There was no belly crawling. I didn't need to.
Unbelievable.
Well, so I went in through this one pasture area, and there's this trail that's beaten down, so it was super quiet. However, it was a little frightening because I didn't realize there was cows still in this one section, and all of a sudden there's these big black things. And Charles,
grizzly bears.
Well, I knew it was cows. However, Charles made the statement. He's like, yeah, he's like, I hope you don't run into the bull out there. And he's like, I'm just kidding. He's like, I've never seen a bull out there. Man,
but also
there's not one, but I've never seen one out there.
Well, good. Add a little.
Like, had he never said anything about a bull, I would have been fine.
Yeah.
But of course, as I'm making my way through this one section, I'm like, oh shoot, there's a bunch of cows. And all of a sudden, this one is just staring me down hardcore. Because the rest all, they see you, and you start moving, and they scatter.
Okay.
This one just stands there and looks at me. And it's super dark, so all I see is a big old black blob. I'm just like, there's that thought of, like, is there a bull in here?
You're like, what tree can I climb?
That's pretty much, I'm like, keeping trees.
You're like, I'm going to be hunting turkeys from the elevated position.
Like, there's, so I was a little freaked out at first. I'm like, he said something about a bull. Is that a bull? I don't think it is. I don't see any horns, but it's so dark. So I finally make my way.
Were you with Steve?
No, I was by myself.
Really?
Because they were going to come in from the right.
So you were on a turkey drive?
No.
So they're going to kind of drive them to you? And
No.
I'm kidding. They're roosted.
No,
Go ahead.
I don't believe in drives.
Oh, gosh.
I'm not.
Yeah, well, you didn't believe in shotguns before this hunt, so let's just keep that in mind.
I don't believe in Santa either, but hey, who knows? Maybe there's a big fat man that slides down a chimney. So I slowly make my way in, super dark, and the plan was Charles was going to make a call right at shooting light to give me the signal.
Okay.
To blast him out of the tree.
Okay.
To harvest him out of the tree.
Dude, this sounds sweet so far.
So it was super sweet. Like, I make my way in. I see where these birds are roosted, and they're in various trees. And I remember where the one Tom was.
I just feel like we're so ignorant of turkey hunting. I can't wait for people like, you shot it out of the roost?
I think it's freaking awesome. So So I get in there, and the cows start moving, and with the movement, they cause the toms to gobble. Well, this one tree, I'm like, oh, there it is. But all I see is what I thought was a hen, but I'm like, oh, I'm hearing the tom. So I make it to the other tree, it gobbles again. What I thought was from this tree, I'm like, oh, no, that's the only bird in that tree. That's got to be the tom. So I make my way back to the other tree because it gave me a clear sight shot, like not even 20 yards.
Yeah. So you turn the holographic on the trad stick. I mean,
Yeah, on the tread stick.
shotgun. Yeah.
And so I'm waiting, and then I realize, and Charles makes the call to give me the go ahead, and the toms gobble. That the tree that I thought had the tom in it, it was the wrong tree. It was not a tom. It was a hen. I still swear, like, that was the tree the tom was gobbling from. Like, I even had double checked, but nope. The tree I needed to be behind was like 25 yards kind of southwest of me. But there is no way I'm going to be able to make it without that one stupid hen seeing me. And a wave of depression and failure hit. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. You were
at the wrong tree?
I was at the wrong...
You screwed it up.
Stinking tree. Like, I screwed this up. And so I'm waiting. Finally, like, you know what? The only chance I have before they fly down is to just slowly make my way over there, see if I can get lucky and not bust. And so I pop out from the tree, hunched over, trying to look. And the cows saw me, and the cows were like, and then they take off. And then that causes a couple birds to take off.
Dude, your heart just sank at this point?
Yeah. And then by that point, the rest of the flock they all took off. Yeah. And they all flew away.
Hey, man, if you're going to shoot them in the roost, may as well shoot them out of the sky.
I couldn't. Like, there's too many trees. Otherwise, I would have.
You had 150-yard range. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, so I had to do the walk of shame back to Steve and Charles, and they're like, "What happened?" I was like, "I was at the wrong tree."
They're like, "How?"
Yeah, pretty much.
Really?
I was asking myself,
did you have like Onyx or anything, or was it just really obvious the night before?
Well, it was really obvious. Yeah, I was like I said, when the tom gobbled, I swear that it came from that tree. Like, it sounded like it was that tree.
After our weekend deer experience where you didn't know what a deer sounds like, I just don't have that much confidence in what you're hearing.
I want to hit beep on that
yeah,
podcast.
let me pause this real quick. And we're back.
And we're back. We resolved that. No.
My nose stopped bleeding, finally. So anyway, walk of shame.
Yeah, walk of shame. I mean, I was so ticked at myself. Like, that was
your opportunity.
Ticked. Yeah,
you had it all nailed down.
It would have been perfect. I could have easily have made it to that other tree earlier and blown a bird out of its roost. Like,
yeah,
I thought that would have been really cool. And then we would have been done. You know?
Yeah.
And
you would have had a turkey under your belt.
Yeah. So
is this the low moment of the hunt?
What's that?
Is this the low moment?
This is the low moment of the hunt. And so let's back up. Actually, no, we'll keep moving forward. So we take off. Start driving around.
I got whiplash from your transition there.
Yeah, sorry. I forgot something that had happened the night before, but it plays well in two. So we're driving around, and we drive past this one field that we had seen a bird, and actually had tried putting a stock on Monday night.
Okay.
That I totally forgot. Before we had dropped Aiden off, as we're driving to drop him back off at his house, we saw this one tom, this lone tom in this field. Mm-hmm. And that Charles knew that we'd be able to get access to, so he zipped around. We make our way through, and we were gonna cut from one side of the field in the wood line to the other to get to the section where we thought the tom was on the other side. Mm-hmm. Literally just about to like take off running, and all of a sudden this hen pops out. Mm-hmm. And we're like, shoot! So we drop. She saw something. But she kept walking, and she's like 80 yards from us, but keeps walking just left to right across this field. And all of a sudden, at one point, just stops like 3/4 of the way. Literally, this bird did not move for 5 minutes. just stone cold looking our way the whole time. Charles is
Really?
calling. The Tom had come out. He's full strut.
Yeah.
And you could tell he was tempted. He kept looking our way. They kind of moved, but then he would, he had a lady already.
Yeah. He's like, she's not that good looking.
Yeah. He's like,
Didn't quite win him over, huh?
We didn't have a decoy set up because we weren't, thinking about setting up at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So we tried calling and just nothing, and we ended up losing them. They went into the woods and. We're in
and that was Monday night.
That was Monday night.
Okay.
So Monday morning after the failed, bedroom hunt, we drove past one field, and then lo and behold, we saw the Tom out there with his lady again. So Charles was like, "Hey, you want another shot at this one?" I'm like, "Yes, please." So we go out to this
of course, metaphorically speaking, another shot.
Yeah, another
Because you
shot.
haven't taken one yet.
Yeah.
Continue.
You're just laying out thick tonight.
Well, I can lay it on thick because I know how it ends. So I can jab all I want now.
So we go into the same area, try putting a stock on this Tom. He just disappeared. No clue where he went.
Okay.
So we're like, well, that's a bummer. So we start walking back to the truck. Charles was going to drop us off in another area. We get back to the truck, and all of a sudden, no. He wasn't going to drop us off. We were going to stay there, but we went back to grab a couple decoys because Steve and I were going to stay in the area because we had heard some gobbles to the north of us, a ways away. So we're like, well, we'll make our way there while Charles goes and does some work. So we get back to the truck, talking, all of a sudden we hear a gobble 100 yards from us. We're like, whoa, what? So they let out a few rips on the call, and yep, sure enough, we hear it again. Like, shoot, so we take off, running up to this section in the trees that divides two fields. Mm-hmm. Or actually, this little field and this bigger crop field. And we get kind of into just where the trail from the one field meets up with the crop field. And we're like 30 yards deep in that. And they keep calling, and the gobble, it's getting closer. It's getting closer. Like, finally, all of a sudden, so we're sitting there, and all of a sudden we see it come walking along the edge of the crop field, making way towards us. And so we're in this middle, and we're trying to figure out, which way is it going to go? Is it going to keep coming down the crop field line, or is it going to cut in and go into the other field? And so we're kind of stuck in between. And Charles and Steven had both dropped down, and I'm standing because I'm trying to figure out, which way am I going to need to go? Mm-hmm. And it's slowly coming in, and eventually it's 20, 25 yards away from us, but it's in the middle of all these trees, so don't have a shot at all. Mm-hmm. And it's zigzagging, to one side or the other.
At 25 yards?
Yeah, 30, 25 yards, and just oh my gosh, which way? And he's slowly making his way, and he keeps zigzagging back and forth, and just I cannot figure out which way he's going to go. Finally, he gets 15 yards away from us, and he makes a hard turn towards the trail into the small field. And I was just like, shoot, well, here we go. And he gets closer, and then it's way too thick. I don't have a shot, and there's a lot of underbrush. And all of a sudden, he's made a hard turn now and know where he's going. And I see this little window. I get set up. I've got the shotgun point. I'm just waiting for him to come into this little window, and he's coming in. And he comes in, eventually gets in 8 yards into this window.
Are you kidding?
Boom! Dead bird,
dude.
And
I
should get. I was pumped. I need to get the video clip. I actually got it on the TAC cam too that Charles had on his gun. So I need to get the footage because it's pretty. We're like a bunch of teenage boys,
dude.
As soon as Charles freaked me out. As soon as I shot it, he turned around and was just like, "Dude, you got it!" And at first, I thought I did something wrong because it was instant. I was like, yeah.
I guess I did.
The bird just dropped, and for me, I was trying to make sure that I had a clean shot at the head, so I didn't ruin the tail or anything. And he gave me a nice clean shot at the head. Head was forward, and just instant dropped, and so. It was very satisfying.
Did you guys hug? Did you guys all jump up and down and hug?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So you got your first flipping turkey.
Finally got my first turkey.
Can't stop. You can do all the hashtag. Can't stop the flop. Long bird. Long beard.
Beard down.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, you can just use it all now.
I don't think I used any of those takes.
Yep, you didn't. You didn't. I checked.
I could care less.
Dude, that's awesome.
But so I was pretty excited. So that was fun. It was a fun story. Especially it was fun how that bird happened. Like just came out of nowhere. It was just a lone Tom, just in looking around for some love and yeah, they called him in. So
dude, that's awesome.
And actually, it was kind of cool. He had really interesting spurs. They weren't super long, but they were almost like bulbing out.
Really?
Charles was like, "Oh, that's strange." And
yeah.
Well, I think what happened was we were cleaning and we found out he had been shot previously.
Really?
Yeah, we found a couple BBs.
Dude.
In like the tail end of the breast meat. And
Seriously?
it wasn't from me because
Yeah.
in 8 yards I blew his head.
Yeah, dude.
And so he had been shot previously.
Yeah.
And survived. So I think that's why he had some funky talons spurs going on.
Yeah.
Just from that weird growth. So that was kind of cool. Like definitely a tough little
Unique,
bird.
yeah.
Had a nice beard. Nice 9-inch, fairly thick. So probably like a 3-year-old.
Dude.
So that was kind of cool.
How exciting.
It was exciting.
That must have been such a blast.
It was fun. It was fun doing it with the crew I had with. And,
yeah.
And even, like I said, no remorse using the shotgun.
Dude.
In fact, using that shotgun got
Yeah.
me inspired, and I've now super modded my
were
daughters'
telling me about it, yes.
shotguns. Like
In quotation marks, daughters. Yeah, of course.
so. Yeah, so
Dude, that's awesome. Well, this is like it's super fun for me because I'm going to be starting. By the time this podcast comes out, I'll have had the week under my belt. So the next one,
and hopefully a bird yourself,
and hopefully a bird under my belt. And
yes.
So, dude, it gets me. I'm obviously.
I'd take the shotgun. Just take it.
Every pick, dude. Okay, well, I'm not you. I'm not just gonna throw in the towel right away. Just kidding.
I'm not going to whore myself out like you. God.
Yeah, no. No, I have my plans finalized. So people hear this after my week of hunting, and hopefully we can follow it up with a very positive outcome.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I've got it. I think nailed down how it's going to go down. But this gets me so excited for going out and just getting after it because. So here's my congratulations officially.
Thank you.
Obviously,
Thank
I've
you.
congratulated you outside of that.
Yeah.
But my official plans for it is kind of like what you're saying, where a lot of it we've talked about before with even deer hunting is trying to have a balance with everything and just wanting to make sure you have something to come home with, and that always helps with the family side of it. Because we do want a turkey, besides just the idea of getting one with a bow.
Yeah.
And so the plan is Wednesday morning is when mine opens. So 3 days from now.
Yeah.
And so I'm gonna take my 2 sons out because I'm like, well, if I go out the next day all day with Ben Dvorak, and he's my calling guy, if I get one, then my kids aren't gonna be able to go out. So I was like, well, I talked to my wife and I'm like, I'm going to go out the morning opening with the boys in a blind with my brother. He'll film or whatever and help carry stuff, all that jazz. Yeah, videographer. Yeah, no, well, he's going to come out mainly, well, hopefully.
I had that too. Had a videographer and a guide.
Nice.
So.
Yeah, wow, you real handicapped.
Yeah.
That's nice. But I'm going to go out with my bow that day. And I'm going to go out all day with Ben with my bow.
Okay.
And then after that, which Friday I'll probably work all day. I don't know if I'll hunt Friday night. And then I have Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, Tuesday. But Monday, Tuesday, I don't know if I'll get out. But anyway, after that all day hunt with Ben, I'll probably switch to the shotgun after that.
Okay.
And just see if I can get it done.
There you go.
And I won't have much help outside of that. And as far as I view like my turkey seasons, as far as the asterisks I put with it, so for 2 falls, I just bought a turkey tag because I happened to see some sometime while I was out. And so I missed one from the blind. That was when I had the Bowtech. And then I missed one from the ground.
It's typical. You have
on my way out to the... on my way out.
Sorry,
you would say that about anything, yeah. But that one, I was on the ground. I happened to see it coming down this old 4-wheeler trail on my way to the deer stand, and so I just kind of like dumped everything and got my bow ready and missed that bird as well. And so anyway, and then the one time I went spring turkey hunting last year was it was downpouring rain. I don't know if you remember. You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
It was downpouring rain. Everybody was like, "Why would you even go out?"
Mm-hmm.
I was like, "Well, because this is the only time I can, so here I go." So I ended up going out. It was downpouring rain. Just kind of an ambush setup because I didn't have any skill. I still don't have skills, but for calling. So I was just kind of relying on where I've seen them consistently and didn't see anywhere I was sitting. So I just decided to walk the woods and ended up seeing one. And anyway, gone over the story. Ran up ahead of it while I was coming up this hill and didn't get a shot at it. And so to me, only having gone out once, not really calling, and it being downpouring rain,
Yep.
I was like, this to me feels like my first season turkey hunting.
Yep.
And so, anyway, with all that, this to me, I'm counting it kind of as my first official season turkey hunting, and hopefully we can put it together. I hope that I have something similar to your story in some way. Whether it's out of the roost, out of the sky, all the things that are frowned upon in the turkey world, from my understanding.
Is it frowned upon?
Yeah,
to shoot them out of the roost?
I think out of the roost, it's like it's one of those things.
Charles has no problem with that.
Yeah, I forget what the word
Charles
is.
is a freaking
It's
slayer of turkeys.
Yeah, it's like I don't know if it's not socially, but I can't think of the word that they use that you would use for where it's just
Peer
kind of
pressure.
It's just kind of frowned upon as a general sense that you don't shoot them out of the roost and you don't shoot them out of the sky, and nobody really knows why you don't. And so that's
Glad
where
I
I'm
can
saying,
push back on that stupidity.
yeah. So I'm totally fine
Like,
with being against the
it's like-
grain,
Yeah.
in that way.
Go
But I don't.
boondock stain. Oh, just climb up the tree with the pistol and shoot it from behind.
Well, that's definitely illegal. But climb up the tree with a
Hey,
shotgun.
no, I'm not saying like a
Climb out of the
a smoothbore pistol. A smoothbore pistol. Duh.
the old like a musket flintlock pistol.
No, just like shotgun with the one, just no brace, just one of those little pistols.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting. Here's the thing. So the morning I go out with my kids, I have some idea of where they show up in this area. So I'm just hoping that my kids hear some turkeys and we hopefully see some turkeys. If we get one, that would be. That would be amazing. That would be the most
Have your kids
ideal.
seen a turkey?
Yeah, they've gone out and scouted this area with me for deer
Have
and
they
stuff.
heard them gobble?
No,
Okay.
they
That's
haven't
a pretty
heard.
cool experience.
So hopefully they can hang out. It's going to be my 6-year-old and 4-year-old, and so hopefully we can occupy their brains enough while we're sitting in the blind to get to that point. But it's an area where they kind of feed and browse around, scratch it up. And so I'll be there that morning for a few hours, and then that next day I'm just fully reliant. Ben's basically going to be my guide, my caller, cameraman, all that stuff. He's like,
What a
dude,
stud.
he's all in. He doesn't have
He's
a tag.
a stud.
He is. I'm glad we added him to
He's
the
a
team.
great
I'm glad
team
he's a part of
member.
the VCP
Team.
And so we'll see. So that day it's just going to be fully reliant on all of his spots, all of his information, expertise. If I don't get one that day, it's going to just be me, probably pretty much a lone ranger. And I'll be hunting one or two areas that I'm familiar with where birds are.
Seeing how things go. Maybe I'll have some free time and I can come down and call for you.
Yeah.
And film you.
See, I got a couple. That's the thing too. Is like
a run and gun style.
There's a little
Boondock Saints style.
I love. It's such a good movie. I love that. It's actually like my favorite movie.
Really?
Yes, I love that movie.
Wow, I've been making all these Boondock Saints references, and you just now telling me that.
I actually once, this is many years ago.
Oh boy,
watched it
So
back to
3?
back. Literally
the same
watched
movie?
it, it, started it over.
Okay, all right.
It was bad.
Wow.
Yeah, I had.
Are you lonely at
I had
that time in life?
I was probably younger than I should have been when I was watching it.
11.
Yeah, but I
This
thought
is
great. This is yes. Oh, dude.
Anyhow,
I'm not going to go to movies I've watched at young ages. Saving Private Ryan, like age 9.
Hey, that's a dose of reality.
Yeah, it is reality. So, anyways,
Anyhow, turkey hunting.
yeah. So we'll see what happens. And I have a few people that have reached out and they're like, dude, if you want to go, I'll come with you. I'll film and I'll call. And I'm like, that might be worthwhile. Might do that. And they might have a few spots I'm unaware of.
Nice.
Yeah.
Having multiple spots for turkeys is definitely nice.
And that's what
like anything, really.
Yeah. Well, and like really the area that I would go, I would just have to basically still hunt / run and gun, you can call it that, but it's really only one area.
Okay.
And so like I have a really good understanding of, and their roost areas can spread a huge, vast area, but I've seen them there semi-consistently.
Are you able to go out the night before at all to see where they roost?
Yeah, I would imagine that there's going to be probably a night or two that I'll be out there before.
If you can.
Before,
the
yeah,
night
and
before.
actually get a location on them.
I would do the night before.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they might not be there.
Well, yeah. That's the whole thing is if they're not. So and like just scouting even the terrain. It's this big hill that goes down on this river bottom.
Okay.
Or a valley, whatever. Down to this river bottom and scouting out there. It's just it's the one area that I'm super familiar with, and I just consistently see them almost every single time I'm out there.
Nice.
And so if I'm spending some time there, I feel like I should be able to create an opportunity. I'm hoping. But yeah, dude, I'm pretty excited, and that your story gets me even more excited. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
we'll see what happens.
Yeah, well, I almost got my daughter almost got one last week as well.
Tell us that story because you briefly you had to fill me in.
That was really cool. So we took my daughter out Thursday morning.
Yep.
We went to this one area where I was hoping that they were roosting because I'd seen them roost there a few nights prior. Didn't have a chance to go out the night before to confirm. Like, well, we'll go out there. We'd seen that flock that I posted a video of with my 1-year-old doing the callback. Which
that was awesome.
It was pretty good, by the way. I mean,
awesome.
Not bad for being 1.5.
Yeah. That was awesome.
So we went out super early. Didn't end up seeing or hearing anything right away. Like calling, not getting anything. Mm-hmm. So we kind of basically made a huge circle of this field. Didn't see anything. I got some good scouting in though. Because that's one of my prime deer hunting areas, and was able to scout an area I hadn't been able to go to, and found a sweet bedding area where I'm theorizing that big 10-pointer I had in my cam might be at. So super pumped about that.
Yeah.
Anyhow, so we're like, well, we didn't see anything. We're like, well, let's go check out this other area. So we drive over there. We start walking this trail that leads to a field where I'd seen birds before last year. At one point, we actually ended up getting a couple gobbles back. And this is one thing I learned painfully that morning. And I've known going out with Steve and seeing this happen. Like when you hear, if they're within a couple hundred yards, it's amazing how fast those birds will travel.
Close that distance.
Yeah, and so I was thinking we'll push it a little further, try to get set up. Well, we ended up busting a couple birds. I think they were a couple jakes.
Yeah.
They saw us and just took off. Well, that's a bummer.
Yeah.
But hey, we got to see something.
But of course, you wouldn't let your daughter shoot a jake.
Oh, I'd let her
Long
shoot a jake.
beard or nothing. I'm just kidding. I know it's
got to be 10 inches or better.
Yeah. I won't post this if it's not 10 inches or more.
So that's a bummer. So we went back to this one area, walked the trails, didn't see or hear anything. Saw a bunch of deer, so that was kind of cool,
Sweet.
So at least we got to see some wildlife. She thought it was cool. And so well, let's get back in the truck. We'll drive up to this one area. And so we get to the truck, and as we pull out of the trail area back onto the main paved road, and all of a sudden, 100 yards down that road is a stupid Tom crossing it. We're like, oh my gosh. And so it just so happens one trail leads to another trail on the other side, so we quickly pull off into the trail head on the other side of the paved road.
Yeah.
Get out of the truck, grab our stuff, quickly run down to a kind of a crest in the hill. I'm like, man, if we can get there, we can try calling them in. So we get set up on the side of this trail, and so I start calling and start getting just tons of gobbles back. I was like, yes. And at first he didn't did one at first and then didn't do it for like 2-3 minutes.
Yeah.
God dang it! And all of a sudden, I heard him, and then you hear him getting closer.
Are you doing mouth call
Getting closer.
only?
Yeah,
Sorry,
mouth calls.
Somewhat sidetracked. But
Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't done the. I like the mouth calls.
Yeah.
And they're just easier for me.
Yeah, I
The
talked to
pot
like
calls.
experienced guys, and they're like, "Oh, I use pot calls
Yeah,
and
like
box calls, and then if I have to, I'll use a mouth call at
Oh.
the end." And to me, I'm like, all I'm using is a mouth call.
Yeah. That's all Charles used.
Yeah.
Steve does a mix of mouth and pots.
Basically, he's just advertising though.
Pretty much, yeah. That's all he does.
Just pushing.
He only makes high quality, slate calls,
Yeah, yeah,
custom handmade. But actually, Charles builds the mouth calls for hobby game calls, which I'll
that's
talk
awesome.
about that real quick at the end.
Let's do that.
But so we're getting all of a sudden this bird's coming in, and it was just like, well, this is sweet,
Dude.
So I got my daughter set up in front of me. We're set up off the side of the trail. We're really not a ton of cover.
Yeah.
And I told him, like, listen, they can see super well. You're gonna have to move super slow. So I was really curious to see how she would do. And I got to give it to her. She's really good at moving slow. Like, she totally gets it.
Ice in the veins.
Yeah. She actually she's got some ice in the veins. Of course, it's like one of the things we were talking about is she talked a lot about it. She's like, oh, I just don't want to miss. I'm like, walking her through the mindset of don't think about what missing, think about hitting and all that.
Yeah.
But as I'm calling, and I've got it set up where she's got a little tripod she can set the gun on. Make it
Nice.
super easy for her.
Yeah.
Which, when kids get old enough, definitely a way to go is having that nice tripod because they can just sit there. And so this bird's coming in. I'm just like, yes, it's coming in. It's coming in. And her range with the gun that we have set up currently, she's good out to 20 yards.
Okay.
And so I was telling, I'll tell you when they shoot. And the bird comes in, and he's about 30 yards away. And he is just strutting up a storm, gobbling back and forth to my calls. I mean, he is hot on the trail of love.
Yeah.
And I was like, we're going to get a bird. And
Yeah.
he's at 30, and he comes in at 30. And right at 30 is the trail we're on, and then there's another trail that cuts off to our right, his left.
Yeah.
And he's hanging out there for a couple of minutes, gobbling back and forth, but he won't come any closer.
Yeah.
And then finally, he starts making his way towards the left down the other trail. I told my daughter, I'm like, just shoot him.
Yeah.
Because I figure, with the gun on the tripod, I feel like 30 yards, she could probably get him. I was just more wanting to get him in. So she,
It's like kind of luck at the pattern.
yeah,
at that
I didn't realize that she wasn't quite on him.
Mm-hmm.
I think she was just waiting for him to get closer, and so she kind of had the gun ready there.
Yeah.
So you see her, because I got it on a video too.
Yeah,
you see
yeah.
her slowly moving the gun over.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, he just dips down past this embankment, and I was just like, oh. And later, talking with her, she was like, yeah, I was just about to pull the trigger when he walked behind this
Seriously?
one tree. I was like, oh,
Dude,
no, I should have told you. I think
yeah.
with the tripod, she would have been
Yeah.
right on.
Dude.
So it was just like, dang it. And so I was really kicking myself for a couple of reasons. Mainly, I wish I had bought a decoy that we had, because if we had a decoy set out, if we had a hen there, he would have been all over that, and he would have been dead.
Yeah.
So it was a bummer, for sure, but
yeah.
it was also really cool.
So as far as the technical side of changes you would have made, it would have been like having a decoy.
Decoy, yeah, and then too, one of the things I'm doing with the gun is I bought a turkey choke for it, so we can extend the range. I didn't realize, just because I've never really gone shotgun hunting for turkeys.
There's
started looking into all that.
People who religiously turkey hunt, and they are probably cringing hard
oh,
at
you
conversations.
Stupid idiots! God, you guys do a podcast. So that's one of the things I'm getting is I got a nice turkey choke.
Yeah.
So we can next time it's at 30, it's
Yeah.
a dead bird, and
Dude.
Put in a red dot on it so she can
Yes.
just point and aim and take a bird next time. So it was disappointed, but it was also really cool. And
Yeah.
it was fun talking with her afterwards, and she had some good just self-assessments of what she would do better next time or different. And so it's just like, dang, this girl's going to be a killer.
Dude,
if
you
I
know
can
what
do
they
my
say,
job,
you learn
if I
more
can do
from
my
the
job,
losses sometimes
she's
than
gonna
the-
So, but at the same time, it was also really cool. We had some action.
Yeah.
And so
Well, that's kind of, and that's,
So-
dude, that's awesome.
And
That's so awesome.
So it was fun getting out there with her, and she wanted to. Like we went out one day last year, and we hardly said anything, and she was like, "We going this year?" Like, so it was cool to be like, have a kid be like, "Yeah, I want to go."
Dude.
You know, and so
Yeah.
getting her own equipment and
Yeah.
whatnot. And
Well, that's what I'm hoping. Like for my kids, like my goal that morning is I'm really hoping that there's something that just kind of gets them engaged and sparks the interest in it. Because it's like I'm not going to drag them out all the time to whatever else, do all the. I don't know where that went. There it is.
there it is.
Um,
Oh no.
no problem. It's okay. And so that's what I'm really just hoping for is that is they get to hear and see
Yo.
some animals. And you know what? The deer come out there all the time too, so they'll be able to get an opportunity to be pretty close to that, I think, as well. So even if turkeys aren't first thing on the menu, but yeah, man. Well, that's awesome. That's super cool that you guys had such a close opportunity to get something like that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So definitely a lot of fun.
Yeah.
A lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Hopefully, I can put something together this year.
Yeah.
Whether
I'm
it's by
excited.
myself or with some friends. And
Whether it's a bow or a shotgun
yeah, I mean, who's
Or-
the judge?
or a rock.
Yeah,
you
who's
know?
the judge? Depending on distance, man.
You know, hey.
But cool.
So yeah, so it should be fun. You know,
Yeah.
definitely. There's turkey hunting's just fun.
Yeah. Well,
that's-
that's again, it's kind of my first. I feel like it's my first season, and kind of like the one I did was duck hunting and goose hunting 2 years ago. I didn't go this year, but 2 years ago it was just nice. Like it'd be nice not having to worry. Like I worry about scent, so not having to worry about scent. Being able to just that little more run and gun style where it's not like you're just committing to one thing and that's it for the whole time. And just be able to exercise some different skills or build some skills in a different area. So, yeah, well, we'll keep everybody updated. I'm sure,
we'll have
the Instagram
part
will
two.
be way more up to date.
Way
than when
more
you're-
hashtags.
yes, absolutely.
Hopefully positive ones.
Yeah, hopefully ones that are
Long
related to a
beards
bird
down.
that's dead. Yeah. So we'll see how it goes, though, man. Cool.
Yeah. Well, till next time, hope you guys are staying safe, staying healthy, staying mentally healthy.
Staying after it in the
Yes.
woods.
So,
All right.
all right. Well, till next time, peace out.